Let me tell you about one show I did. I'm not going to say what base it was. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. We did a 4-hour show. This is the 4th year we did this with the Sergeant Major of the Army. We did a 4-hour show because we found out that the troops loved the show. Because it was a little bit of home. And during the show, I was kind of the co-host with a beautiful woman named Leanne Tweeden. And we'd do comedy routines, and we'd introduce the music, we'd introduce the cheerleaders. I'd go out and do a monologue. And this is something I would do, I'd done for a number of years. And I'd go out and I'd say, you know, I've done now 7 USO tours, and every year I'm just more and more impressed in the military, except one thing I don't get. It's this whole don't ask, don't tell policy. And now it's about 28 degrees where I'm talking, and there's maybe a couple thousand troops. Most of them are standing, some are in bleachers. And this is like 3 hours into the show, but they're just loving the show. And I said, but there's one thing I don't understand. It's this don't ask, don't tell policy. I mean, we all know that brave gay men and women have served in our country's uniform throughout its history. And, well, yeah, we have this policy. I mean, take, for example, General Smith. Then I pointed to the commander of the base. I said, now here is one of the bravest men ever in the history of our country to don our nation's uniform in battle, and yet he's one of the gayest men I've ever met. And they started laughing and cheering. I said, now why should General Smith have to stay in the closet when he's such a great leader of men? General Smith, stand up and wave. And he got up and waved, and everyone cheered. And in the bleachers, there was a group of women soldiers who cheered extra loud and waved at him, and he waved back at them. And at the end of the show, the general, but at the very end of the show, we sang American Soldier by Toby Keith. I don't know if you know that song, but it's a beautiful song. And I always have this from doing USO tours, but seeing soldiers with their arms around each other and crying and singing. I don't do it for the money. I got bills that I can't pay. And at the end of the show, the general came up and he gave this beautiful frame with an American flag that had flown over the base. And he gave it to every member of our troop. And when he gave it to me, he said, Al, keep telling those don't ask, don't tell jokes. I think you may have some fans up there. And he pointed at those women. And later, those women came up to me and said, we're gay. And they're all, I mean, they're, I think everybody knew it. And this was 2006. This is when it was really hard for the military to recruit people.